You are definitely going to want to stick around to see what this monster chili plant is hiding. And it's a monster in more ways than one. Welcome back to another chili garden update video. You're going to see so much progress compared to the last one. Things have just exploded with growth. We have loads of ripe fruit coming through as well, which is lovely to see. And I'm excited to show you around. So let's get started. We'll start off in Little Chump, right over there. We're going to start off in Little Chump because this is the hardest one to get around in. Once again, I've gone and overdone it with the number of plants that I put in there. I just can't help myself. I love seeing all that growth. But yeah, we'll try and get around in here and see how we get on. This here is my NFT system. We won't talk about that in this video. That's part of my Hydro Wars series. So go check that out where I'm comparing different hydroponic systems. If you remember the beginning of the year, I told you about a lady I met at a conference from Bhutan. And she sent me some seeds that she was telling me about. She was really keen to try and grow them. There were some chilies from her home country. So these are Bhutanese chilies. It was really difficult to get them to germinate, but I managed to get a couple plants going. And as you can see, they have grown fantastically. And it'll be interesting to see how they taste. Over here, we have some candy cane chocolates. Always a beautiful, beautiful chili. They ripen up to this dark sort of color here. But got quite a few coming through, some nice chunky ones. These are sweet chilies. We have another one of those back here. You can see them there. So actually I think, wait, these are the candy cane chocolate. These might be something a bit different. Let's have a look, because those do look a little different. So I'm just looking on Seedsio. No, it's a candy cane thin phenotype. So that makes sense, I guess. These are quite chunky. You can see that. A bit more rounded. And still lovely colors. Look at that. One of the benefits of growing in smaller pots, these are 5-liter pots, is you get to have much earlier ripe harvests of things like your super hots, which tend to need a longer season. So these here are Jigsaw chocolates, I believe. Extremely hot and beautiful looking chilies. And over here we have our CC Fushimi. This is my own cultivar, which I've been isolating for a while now. You can see it has these very interesting leaves, all those white splashes on there. The leaves are all kind of asymmetrical. And the chilies are just lovely. Look at that striping over there. Lovely. And they ripen to this red. Kind of loses the striping when it ripens up, but still, it's a beautiful chili. It tastes lovely as well. And these will be available in the store. I think I've sold out, but check them out in the store. You might get lucky with a few packs, but there'll definitely be a lot more later in the season. Look at those stingers over there. Let's confirm what this plant is. It's a red Primotalii. Always does well in terms of the stingers. The red Primotalii, look at that. Gorgeous. Lovely. Those will start ripening up soon as well. Let's take a look here. These were meant to be black, I believe. So Naga Twister Black. Lovely looking chili, but yeah, they're definitely not ripening to black. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it takes some time. And isn't this just perfect? This is the Chinese 5-color. And I think it's pretty obvious why it's called that. Look at all the colors here. We've got purple, yellow, orange, red. Just such a beautiful plant. It's a lovely ornamental, and the flowers are stunning as well. You can see the little purple flowers there. It's lovely. While we are around this side, we'll take a look at some of my hydroponics plants. Again, part of my Hydro Wars series. They're doing really well. Challenge I'm having is they're using so much water. I need to keep filling them up constantly. So this one here, you can see it's not looking very healthy because that water is going to be empty right now. But look at this one. This thing has been fruiting like crazy for a while now. Let's check what it is. It's a Chinesische Runzelhout. I'm sure I'm definitely not pronouncing that correctly. But look at these beautiful, just chunky pods. And they ripen to this lovely red. We have loads on here. I'm really keen to give that a try. Look at the pods just all over the place. Lovely to see just how healthy they are. These are all at about 5 foot, 5'4", so pretty big plants. Let's take a quick look around the other side there. Like I said before, it is so difficult getting around in here. I really need to make some changes for next year and stick to it, because I keep saying I'm going to make changes and make the space a bit more accessible, but every time I end up with this. So I showed you the Turkish flower in the last garden update, and it was just the middle over here that was ripening up, but all the ones around the edges are ripening up too. It's such a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. Look at that thing. All of these just like little flowers on each of these stems. Such a unique plant. I really do love growing it. Another extreme, super hot, my 7-pot brain strain yellow. I mean, they just look scary, don't they? So they're almost fully ripe. You can see there that green will go away and it'll be pure yellow, but that's just beautiful. And we'll get loads more fruit on here as well as the season goes on. And another classic super hot, the big mustard mama. We do have some ripening up back there. Look at that. Now this is seriously, seriously hot. One of the hottest things I've ever eaten. Just beautiful. And lots of green ones on the end there, but oh, it's just, look at the size of that. And this here, a beautiful specimen of a Dorset Naga. Look at that, lovely fruit. Some other smaller ones on here as well, but as the season goes on, you'll get bigger and bigger fruits. But there's quite a few on here. But that one there is just, that's what it should look like. It's exactly the right phenotype. These here are my Hainan yellow lanterns, and normally by now I have quite a few ripe. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but there are plenty on here, and I know we'll get loads and loads of ripe ones very soon. In fact, that one there is starting to ripen up. You can see that starting yellow at the top. But Hainan yellow lantern are just a beautiful sauce chili. Very hot. It's a good alternative to a habanero, I'd say. Okay, I think that's it for Little Chump. I am not going to go through there because, yeah, I'm going to break something when I'm holding the camera like this. So let's go take a look at MicroChump and see what's going on in there. Unfortunately, it's not all good news and not all fun and games. You can actually see a bit of remnants of this, but we've lost 3 of our hens to foxes, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But loads of feathers around here, and unfortunately one of them I had to put down myself, which is never nice, but it is part of living like this and keeping animals like this. But our cockerel here has been a bit beside himself. He's not wanting to sleep in the coop anymore, so he sleeps on top of the coop. I every night have to come out here and put him inside the coop because I think he's trying to protect the remaining girl that we have. We only have the one now. But yeah, it's not great. Anyway, let's go and check out MicroChump. So these plants are also in 5-litre pots, which is why they will be quite a bit smaller than the plants in PolyChump and Big Chump. But there's a method to the madness, and that's because I do want to get earlier harvests here. This is partly for seeds that I sell and also for my crosses to get multiple generations in a year. If the plant takes too long to get the seeds, then obviously I can only do the 1 generation. But it worked out well. This year I went to a little bit bigger size than I did last year, but I still think it's probably a little too small. I want to go 1 size bigger. Last year I did 3-litre pots because I knew the climate last year was not going to be great. This year I knew it was going to be better, which is why I went up to the 5-litre pots. But I think next year I'm going to go to 7.5 litre, and I think that'll be the sweet spot. So the plants in here and the plants in Little Chump, they all are going to be in the 7.5 litre next year. Same layout as we have here, but I think that'll work out well because you can see the plants are relatively small compared to the others. So yeah, we'll see how that goes out. It's always about experimenting, isn't it? Talking of crosses, this is one of my own varieties. This is the CC Golden Nugget, which is just a stunner. Again, I just love the way these leaves go. Look at that. Where have you seen purple leaves like that before on a chili plant? Stunning. If you guys are growing them, let me know how yours are getting on. But I'm pretty proud of this one. You can see down there, it's starting to ripen up back there. But yeah, they start off this dark sort of purple color and then slowly ripen over time to that beautiful golden yellow. Yeah, it's a lovely ornamental plant. And the chilies don't taste too terrible. I mean, it's not something I'd choose necessarily for sauces, but I mean, they're not bad. And another one of my crosses, this one is a really special one. This is my lemon Piri, and this one's at F6. So this year, seeds from this will be going to F7. And you can see some of the pods coming through. Look at that. This is a cross between a peri-peri, my CC peri-peri, and an ahi lemon drop. You can see beautiful pods. And it's so nice to see them fruiting so well compared to previous generations, which is bound to happen with the two species I crossed. Yeah, we've got some coming through. I'm pleased with that. Need to mark that one. Oh, it's just lovely to see all these ripe fruit. This here is my pepperdew. These big old bulbous things. Stunners. Pepperdew is amazing for, well, so many different things, but my favorite is like making a sweet pickle. Over here is my CC Jigsaw brain, another one of my crosses. And have a look at that. Gnarly, gnarly pod. Oh, look at that. Beautiful specimen. It's stunning. None of them are ripened just yet, but I know a lot of you are growing them because you would have bought the ChilliChump seed kit. Thank you guys all for doing that. I hope they are doing well. Let me know in the comments down below how your ChilliChump seed kit is getting on. But this is one of the varieties that was in there. And I'm looking forward to seeing the videos of you guys trying it. A ripe pod, that'll be good. But yeah, these are no joke. These are seriously extreme. I would take a guess. I mean, I don't like playing the game of what's the hottest chili in the world and that sort of thing, but I don't know. I'd say it's up there. Top 10 maybe? It's seriously hot. But I'm very keen to hear your opinion when you do try them. And please film it. Okay, I think I've kept you waiting long enough. Let's go take a look at some monsters inside PolyChump. The growth in here has just been phenomenal. Wow, this is just a absolute jungle. This is one of my favorite spots to come and walk through. I mean, I love walking through all of it, but this here it's a real jungle. The plants in here, they're all averaging around 6 feet and they're just looking so healthy. They really are lovely. And even these here, the raised beds, they're doing really nicely. The only challenge is they're just a victim of their own success. And that's something I'll definitely be having to sort out next year. What I'm talking about is obviously what you've seen in previous videos where I've snapped some branches off. There's a few others that have come off here as well. There's a few changes I need to make in my hydroponics setup, but still, can I really complain? It's just gorgeous. Something I found quite interesting here is how the plants on this side are generally quite a bit bigger. And you can see them coming down in size here. Now, I think that's one of two things that are happening. It's either one, the way that my ebb and flood system is working, which I will be redesigning for next year, or it's because the sun comes up that side. So basically that's south and the sun comes across it. So maybe it just gets more sun for more of the day and it's not as shaded. That might be it. But yeah, there's some real monsters in here. Look at how healthy this is. So you can see, because of the size of the plants, you know, what I was talking about before with the smaller pots getting earlier harvests, you can definitely see there's massive plants here. Now we do still have some time, so I'm not too worried about it. But in a year where the weather is not as good as this year, you would have some challenges, especially here in the UK. But you can see loads of flowers coming through. Those will start pollinating soon as well, and we'll get tons and tons of fruit. This is a super hot over here. And yeah, you can see a couple of small pods, but nothing like the plants inside MicroChump and Little Chump. We do have obviously some capsicum enum. These are KN, and those of course are going to get fruit a bit sooner than the capsicum chinense, the hotter varieties. So if you do want to just see some splashes of color in your grow space, make sure that you do grow some capsicum enum or capsicum frutescens. And also because they just taste delicious. So coming over here, this just looks stunning to me and I can't wait for them to ripen up. Look at this. And we've got some ripening up down the bottom there. But just look at this plant. This here is a Kashmiri Mirch. And it's got to be one of the tastiest chilies out there. Definitely, definitely you want to grow these. And if you can support them, they can get loads of fruit on them. But yeah, you can see the size of these are just lovely. And the flavor and the spice level is just perfect. Making sauces, cooking in meals, all that sort of thing. But just look at it. It's just laden with these. Kashmiri Mirch. Definitely one to grow if you're not growing already. And then an old favorite, which I haven't talked about enough because I kind of feel like you guys must get sick of me talking about it. This is my CC Piri Piri. It is my absolute favorite chili. It is just so versatile. It can be used in so many different ways, and it's something I'm constantly trying to improve. So this is a variety that I've been selectively breeding now for more than a decade. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that they're all pointing up. So a couple of my plants have had pods that pointed down. We're trying to change that so they're all pointing up like a traditional sort of bird's eye, because I've done some crossing with this as well, just to make it have bigger pods, same sort of flavor, and definitely the heat level and the same sort of heat profile. And I think I've succeeded in that because it's just such a stunning plant. Need to tighten up these strings. Over here is a bit of a smaller plant. This is about 3.5 feet high, but look at these pods. This is a Testarossa orange. I loved growing these last year. Had some lovely pods off it. Very hot, but just beautiful. You can see the leaves towards the top here are this kind of purple, dark purple color. You can see I'm going all green in there, but if you look underneath, they're mostly green. But yeah, loads of pods, especially later on in the year. Right now, not so much, but you can see it's starting to flower quite a bit. Kind of flowers from the nodes of the branches here. But Testarossa orange is just a beautiful, beautiful pod. Have a little bit of a tail on them. But yeah, love it. So we had another little disaster here, because you would have seen the disaster I had with this plant. This is my KN, and it snapped off from down there. Loads of pods, but thankfully I was able to put them to use. And you'll see a video on that very soon. A lovely new source for you guys. But another little disaster over here. This is a Padron, and you can see it kind of snapped off there. But I should be able to at least get some fruit off there. Even if they dry up, I can still use them dried. But the rest of the plant is kind of healthy. And loads of fruit on there as well. I need to support these plants earlier in the season. That's my mistake this year, is I didn't support them. Wow, that's heavy, heavy. Goodness. So many pods. So I need to string that up as well. Give that some support. In fact, let's quickly do that now. Actually, I noticed I already have strung it up. So you can see that string over there. That's still so heavy. I need to just tighten this up. Let's just bring it up a bit. Bit more support. There you go. I think that one needs to go as well. Yeah, the stringing does the job. Cages would be better, but just not with the sheer number of plants that I'm dealing with here. I think it would be just a bit too much, but as you saw in the beginning of the video, we do have some cages on some monsters, so we'll go and take a look at that next. So we are back where we started in Big Chump. And yeah, I know I've kept you guys waiting, but let's take a look at this absolute monster over here. This here is the Warthog. So let's take a look. We do have some pods on it. Not yet ripe, but they are monsters. And as you can see, this plant is a monster. I'm 6'4", and that's cheating a little bit, but it's kind of there. This definitely will be above me. I'm sure we'll get up to 7 feet high by the end of the season. Probably bigger, but how healthy and good looking is this plant? Just take a look at these pods through there. Over here, I mean, they're just growing like crazy. These are some scary, scary pods. If Johnny Scoville's anything to go by, I'm in for a world of pain when I finally try these. But they are such beautiful, beautiful pods. Crazy. How are your Warthogs getting on? If you did manage to get some seeds for these, are yours growing as well? I do have another Warthog that wasn't showing pods that looked like this. They actually came out yellow for some reason. But these ones I have high hopes for. Just take a look at these things. So excited for these pods. We've got such big clusters. They seem to be quite low down, which you can see inside there. Plenty. And some of them just look so gnarly. Look at that. That's a specimen in a bit. Yeah, the Warthog. I'm looking forward to seeing all the videos of people trying the Warthog, because obviously a lot of people are growing these now this season for the first time. So I'm sure we're going to see a glut of YouTube videos of people trying them out, but check these out. Stunning. And yeah, such a healthy plant. Back there, this is my Dorset Naga, and it's probably at about 5 feet high. I wouldn't say that's any any bad thing against the Dorset Naga. It's just that this specific one didn't do very well. And over here is another monster. This is a pepperdew, but that still is not as big as the glorious Warthog back there. But still lots of pods. We have a guest. Hello, my boy. Oh, Barney, say hello. So I'll be eating one of the Warthogs on a live stream, probably September or October live stream. I do a live stream on the first Sunday of every month. In fact, the next live stream would have been this coming Sunday, but we're going to be away at the Dorset Chili Festival. And when I say we, it's going to be Barney, myself, and Mrs. ChilliChump. So do come say hi if you're going to be there. We'll be there on the Saturday, and we'd love to say hello. And Barney, I'm sure, would love to say hello. He loves people. He loves other dogs. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to some time off next week. But the live stream will be the following week. I think it's the 10th, so the Sunday after. And yeah, we'll see. We will have another pod to eat there. Not the Warthog, but there's going to be another super hot because there's quite a few that are ripening up. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments down below how your plants are getting on. I'd love to hear all about it. Hopefully your season is going as well as mine. And until the next video, stay spicy. Hello, my boy.